Okay, so we've got some more viewer sent like kind of viral tattoos. I've had people like share these or tag me in. I'm getting a lot more of that, especially since I've been doing these trending viral tattoo things. So let's take a look at these.
All right.
So we have a fun tattoo here, as the tattooer has dubbed it. It's a very long neck dinosaur, and again we have these anatomy kind of bendy tattoos.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of these.
Yeah,
lately.
these ones are getting really popular, and same with the like transformative ones that are happening in the elbow, where like, you know, there's like a skull hidden under in the joint there.
Well, like
you can't see it until the arm's open, and then there's like moth wings.
It's always a cool idea in a sleeve to give some kind of a motion. Like I've even got like this arm bends when my arm bends.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's little things like that, right? Like or like on my inner bicep, there's like all this musculature stuff built into it, right? So like I feel like in most sleeves there is some incorporation of that, but these are like one-offs and like.
Yeah, this isn't like sleevable.
No, but like my thing with this is like how many of these can you have?
One on each side.
One on each side, and like what are you gonna do with them to build them together ever?
Nothing.
But
like I would even consider this to be upside down and backwards.
Oh, it is, but it doesn't matter.
No,
right?
well, at this point, it doesn't matter.
You're doing it for the joke, but like I don't like these on your arms. I really don't.
No, I think it's like haha fun and kitschy, and like yeah, once was hilarious, maybe twice. Sometimes it's funny to see what like creatures people are using. Like the stretchy cat was funny.
Yeah, I like the stretchy cat more than the dinosaur.
But
I don't know if it's because the stretchy cat is inherently more hilarious. Right, like oh, look at him, look at his body, woo! But this is more like, this is more typical.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen like a frog and its tongue stretches.
Oh, I'm sure the frog is coming. There'll be 9 frogs of this same joke.
Yeah,
there probably
we just
already
haven't
is.
seen them, right?
Yeah, there probably already tons of those. But like, and then you see when he stretches out.
Now he's eating.
Now he's eating.
Yum yum.
Right? Now he's eating. They should just tattoo some grass in there or something.
But then it doesn't make sense when his head's up.
I think it still makes sense. He's just standing in the grass, right? Because I don't think the grass would flatten out. So he's just like, you know, I don't know. What would happen to the grass? Would it fall over? Now I want to see that.
No, it would just be a curve of grass.
Yeah.
It would look so dumb.
Well, he's going to have to... Well, I mean, I would
Unless you put the grass in his mouth and then it looks like he's picked it.
I would want the context, right? Like, see, this is why I can't have these, because all of a sudden I'm building a background. I'd be in here, like, telling Terry, I'd be like, all right, so here's what we got to do next. We got to do this thing and this thing. We got to get a nice, soft, like, green in here, and then we got to get, like, put a little white highlight in here.
Yeah, and Terry will be like, okay.
Yeah, like, well, he would go with it, too.
Yeah.
Like, if I showed this to him, he'd be down to do this. He'd be like, all right, sure, let's do this. Like, but, like... I would never be content with just the fucking dinosaur.
No, of course you wouldn't. Most people wouldn't be, though.
So, I had to show this. I got this sent in. And, like, what I will say about this is, why doesn't the chick have hair? Like, why is she bald?
She's not bald.
The girl in the head tattoo is bald.
No, I see hair.
I don't see hair.
This is hair.
Is that hair or is that... No, that's just the outline of the wing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe she is bald. I don't know. Maybe she's like going to go bald one day. Maybe that's why she's got a big bald spot.
This looks like she shaved that spot.
It does, but I don't really know. I'm trying to give it context.
No, so like there has to be an end to this joke that I'm missing.
I don't know.
Right? But like, it's like that Ninja Turtle one where the guy was tattooing his girlfriend's face theoretically as a Ninja Turtle. That just went up and like... Again, the resounding like, oh, this is obviously fake. Like, if it wasn't fake, they'd do a better job than this. No, they wouldn't. No, they don't.
I think it would look way less solid.
No, but like,
does,
people think that because it looks bad means it's fake.
No,
that doesn't mean a fucking thing.
Because
it looks bad usually means it's real.
The quality and texture of the color is what leads me to think it's fake. It looks like paint. Anyways,
but like what I'm trying to say is like people assume that like when you're doing things like that permanently on your face and head.
Yeah, no one's getting a bad face tattoo.
Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh,
Almost all of them are bad.
Yeah, there's very few good face
yes,
tattoos.
there's 90% bad face tattoos.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like 90%. There's so many bad ones. They're all over the place. I see them every week. I'm tagged in them every week. And I just had a guy who was like, ha ha. Next thing you know, someone's going to try and turn their face into a Red Skull when they've seen that Ninja Turtle.
I wouldn't be
They've
surprised.
already done that. That's been done already.
Yep.
The guy's already done that. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this happens every day.
Yep.
I don't know why we would ever assume that quality is an indicator of real or fake.
No, it's not. And sometimes the worst ones are the realest ones.
Well, tell you what, most good tattooers don't take these on.
No, well, I mean, if someone came to me and was like, I want to tattoo your face, or I want my face tattooed, I'd be like, no.
Who's interested in doing this at this shop?
No one.
Right. So guess who is?
Scratchers.
Scratchers down the road.
Or like someone who's really good at skull tattoos. I don't even know.
Good at skull tattoos.
Like on the back of your head.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Anyways, though, let's talk about the tattoo.
If they're good at skull tattoos, they don't need to do this.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, there's not a lot to say. It's terrible.
I mean, the best part of the tattoo is her chest. So.
Well, I mean, they got the shape right.
Yeah.
Right? But, like, how hard is it to tattoo the shape of a boob?
I mean, you'd be surprised.
I don't know. I don't know about that because it's not even like it's perfect, right? The line is fading in and out in places. I think you could do this very easily.
Probably.
Like,
it's not a great tattoo.
I think it would be better than this. Look at the fucking shading.
I mean, that's the only thing that my eyes are falling at.
That's human nature, though.
I'm like, hey, boobs. Okay. Anyways, moving on because this is just hilariously bad. Oh, I like this one.
See.
This is such a waste of space.
The way it's done, well, of course it's a waste of space, but I mean, you get this tattoo, you're not caring about waste of space. I think you can keep accessorizing this forever.
Yeah, I guess
right?
you could put like graffiti in him and
stuff.
stuff.
Little eyebrows and fucking like piercings and stuff. Like you can do all kinds of fun things to this guy. I have no problem with that.
Standing properly because it would make a. I think it would be a circle.
You'll see the whole range of motion here. We're going to see the different faces, but like. With this one, it's like, this looks almost fake to me. That looks almost like black tape or marker.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But it's because it's so much negative space, right? If you put like a dot of black in the middle of a big back, and it's even as big as one of these eyes, that's all your eye is going to be drawn to.
Right.
Like, I talk about this all the time with like realism where there's too many details and it becomes cloudy and hard to read.
Yep.
This is the most readable back piece I think I've ever seen.
You can read this from across the room.
Right? Like there's no more you can do to make this more readable, and anything else you do will instantly take away from it.
Agree.
So in some sense, this is quite masterful. Like I'm not trying to be a dick, and I also like the way that his expression and his emotion changes.
Yeah, well, this goes from being like a funny like eyes and mouth to a funny nose. Eyes and mouth in this kind of position. Yeah,
I think this is, until they get into full body territory with one of these, this is probably going to be the limit of these, like, these changing anatomy tattoos. But it's unreal how many of them there are, right? Like, there's so much of this happening right now.
It's like people are really just trying to push the boundaries of what tattoo can do, right?
Yeah, and I think that it's like people are doing it in a weird way because I actually think that like, and people always push back on this, but because they say, oh, tattoos have been done forever. It's not young. It is very young industry.
I think it's a young industry because this is the first time culturally around the world globally that tattoos have been accepted on a large scale. I think that like there are groups and cultures that had tattoos and they were part of their society, but it's not the same, like they were sacred or they were like a marker of something. It's not the same as what we're kind of doing right now on a global scale where we're adorning ourselves. And it's
cosmetics.
It's kind of frivolous.
This is all aesthetics.
Yeah.
There's zero experiential element to this.
Well, and like, yeah, so like I think this is the first time in history that it's been this way.
But like my greater point is in the technical side of things, there is straight up bullshit that we have been told is truth in this industry forever, and it's being changed and fucked with every day.
Oh yeah, I know.
And so like I'm not saying that this is the wrong way to approach, like this is more of the artistic side of it.
Yep.
Right? Like this is like, what can we do as an art piece to make this different with the human body?
Well, this is what the artists in the industry are doing.
Whereas what I'm more interested in is the scientific parts of this.
That's what the craftsmen in the industry are doing.
And so many people don't believe it to be that. Like I don't think that most people think of tattooing as a skill or a technique. They just think of it as like whatever picture.
Yeah,
right?
I think tattooing is a craft.
It's way more technique than art, if you ask me. Like way more, because I won't even let someone tattoo me if they're not technically skilled.
So
like no one in here, you still haven't tattooed me. And people are like, why don't you let your wife tattoo you? When I'm sure she's not going to fuck me up.
Yeah, when I'm goodish.
I'm not saying you're fucking other people up, but I'm like, I'm layers, right?
Like,
cover-ups are a different
thing. You would be hard to tattoo is the thing,
Maybe not, though, right? But like, so. I want to be very sure before I let anyone tattoo me at this point, because I don't want any more scar tissue.
I'm not too worried. Eventually we'll get there. I'm not in any hurry.
Oh, that's going to happen. But like, what I'm saying is the art comes second for me. And for most people, it's like, it's not even a thought that there's anything else. They just see things that they think are cool. And then they go, oh, that person does good art, so they can do good tattoo. And it's not the same fucking thing.
No, it's not the same. There's tons
How many
of
artists
times,
do we know that can draw, that can't tattoo to save their fucking life?
I was just going to say that. There's tons of times, there's artists in our city that I'm like, they are a really good artist. I love their art. I don't think it translates to tattoo, because I don't think that they're as good of a tattoo artist as they are an artist, and like this is why I think tattooing is interesting, because I've always been more interested in craft, and I will call tattooing a craft because I am from craft. That's what I did. I was a printmaker. It is process based. And then you hone your skills within that process. The imagery is almost secondary.
Yeah, it should be.
And I really think that tattooing is very much like that. You could draw circles around people, but if you cannot tattoo technically well, it will never translate properly.
Well, I mean, you can apply this to most things, right? Like, so artists have a way of like taking this into funny territory, but like you can even look at when I was a cook for like 20 years. And you would have people who they knew how to cook at home. Yeah. Right? And they could make you a nice like home dinner.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd take them all fucking day.
But they
have all the time in the world to fuck around.
Understand how to cook.
Oh no. Then you go into a kitchen and it's like, oh, this isn't cooking. No. Cooking is much different than what people think it is. When people are like, I want to cook for a living, it's like, do you really want to cook for a living?
No, it's not the same.
It's technical before it is art. Yeah. And that's the case with anything.
Well, and to me, the best tattooers in the world are the ones that have been able to marry the two.
I don't care what you can draw.
They've honed their craft first. They've become good technically at the process, and then they've also come up with a style.
Yeah, the style should come later.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Right,
though,
like first you cut your teeth on small projects and learn your shit before you end up fucking people up with cool, pretty pictures.
Last thing I'm worried about is putting my style into work right now.
Style will come with time, but you know, this. What troubles me about this is, like, it's just too much art, right? Like this is the limit of.
It's going to exist in the plane though, and I think it's good that this is existing, and that it's not predominant. Because that's who's the other guy that Rick
Oh, Rick Sard Tattoo. Yes. You're convinced is some high artist.
I do. But that is what artists,
I think he's a butcher.
That's what artists in art school would do with tattooing though.
That guy that's different, because this is at least tattooing. That's more like stunting.
Yeah, but
like,
I mean,
he's attacking people with tattoo machines in strange ways.
But I think that is something that a fine artist would take a tattoo machine and be like, how do I push it?
The people that are getting into that with him are getting almost 100% scar tissue and 10%
But
ink.
it's just like I'm gonna kind of make up a word here. It's kind of a Deschampian motion towards tattoos, and if anybody understands what I mean, chime in. But
like what I said about wanting a technically good tattoo experience, Rixard is literally the antithesis of that.
Yeah.
That is like,
it needs to exist.
You are getting
though.
fucked up 100%.
Yeah, but it does. It needs to exist. I think
If you care about the quality of your skin, do not go see a Rixard tattoo.
Well, no. Yeah, definitely don't.